Hey, it's your boy BT, Brendan Taylor. You're watching 5th Street Gym on South Beach. You're watching True School Sports.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, words to my brethren all around the world watching this video. Hope you're having a blessed day as you are watching this. But Oscar Valdez, you know, a guy that I feel, if you look at the skill sets, how he's beaten his opponents in comparison to other world-class fighters with bigger names, there's legitimate claim for him to be maybe the 10th best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. I feel that's fair. But aside from that, in the recent news, Oscar Valdez coming out and basically saying, look, I'm not afraid to risk my record, and I want Gary Russell Jr. Now, if we look at like his weight class, which you know, I feel he has a chance to be the best fighter, and eventually I would like to see him fight Leo Santa Cruz. I felt like that'd be a good fight for him and for Santa Cruz as well. It's a fight I like to see. I don't really ever see it happening though, because they're both on top rank, but it's something that I feel should be considered later on down the line. But give me 1 second. I'm trying to get their what should we call it, the ratings up on Ring Magazine. Yeah, Oscar Valdez, you know, he's in a division where, you know, there's some really good fights for him. You look at the 126-pound featherweight division. We got guys like Leo Santa Cruz, like I just mentioned, who's a champion. Gary Russell, who's also a champion. You know, Carl Frampton is still around. You got Lee Selby. You got him. You got Joseph Diaz Jr., which is another great fight I like to see for Valdez. Just some good matchups to happen, and I think a Gary Russell fight would be really good because, number one, because it's a unification fight. It's a fight where, you know, Gary Russell, he had a fight where he fought Oscar Escandón, a guy that, you know, is a good, solid, rugged fighter, a good, solid, rugged contender, nothing more than that. But Escandón was able, he was able to do what he liked, well, whatever he wanted with Escandón, because number one, Escandón is very, very small. Like, when I say very small, he's very small. I'm taller than Oscar Escandón, which is saying something. But he fought Oscar Escandón, and he was able to sit there in the pocket and just let his hands go whenever he wanted and just be comfortable and take his time, which, you know, Gary Russell's a talented fighter, but when you look at his career, and I think anybody who looks at his career, outside Lomachenko and a lot of guys he's fought, Johnny Gonzalez, he's had probably a more padded record than anybody in boxing. Honest to God, he really has. Before he fought Lomachenko, there's articles where you can go read where they were criticizing him of, like, you know, constantly fighting TBA. So for him, I feel like, you know, when we look at his career, he has to kind of legitimize himself as a fighter because, you know, he's really hasn't done much recently, and Valdez is a top prospect, a guy that, you know, he's beaten some good notable names. Like, he stopped Evgeny Gradovich, he stopped Miguel Mariaga faster than Nicholas Walters did, and when Nicholas Walters fought Mariaga, he fought Mariaga with a weight advantage, and still, despite that, Valdez stopped him much, much faster. So Valdez has shown some great skills, and he wants that unification. He wants to prove that he's the best in the division, and you know, I would say of the current Mexican fighters, like for me, my current favorite Mexican fighters in boxing right now, my top three, I would say are Oscar Valdez. He's definitely in there because, you know, I'm just a big fan of him, watching him fight. Oscar Valdez, Juan Francisco Estrada, and recently, you know, ever since the Ryan Carl fight, Eddie Ramirez of Chicago. He just fought recently, and I still have to watch this fight, but big shout out to Eddie Ramirez. Those three right there, whenever they fight, you know, I tune in to watch it because I enjoy watching them all fight. But here's what Valdez said in regards to, you know, wanting to fight Russell and the rest of the great fighters in his division. He said, I quote, "I want to be recognized like as a boxer like Juan Manuel Marquez and Julio Cesar Chavez, who in their time fought with the best, without the fear of losing to anyone. Marquez has had losses, but people will always remember him as a great champion. I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to risk my undefeated record to face the best. Whether it's Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz, Lee Selby, Gary Russell, who has the green belt, I want to fight them and say that I'm a great boxer. If I had a chance, I would pick Gary Russell. Nothing personal against any of the other boxers, but I want that title." And that's what it is, man. He wants a WBC belt, and WBC belt is, you know, the most coveted belt from all fighters. Number one, to me, it looks the coolest, and it's the belt with the most history. And him being Mexican, I know that probably means a lot more to him because that's a Mexican-ran organization. A lot of great Mexican fighters have held that title, so, you know, he would want to add his name to that list. I fully understand it. But it's a fight I feel would be really good because with Valdez, Gary Russell would not be able to sit there in the pocket without taking punishment. He'd have to actually move and, you know, really exercise that great hand speed that he does have. So stylistically, to me, that's a very interesting fight. I'd probably lean more towards Valdez just because I feel like he's a hungrier fighter and he's someone who's a little stronger right now in this point in his career than Gary Russell. But it's still a fight where I feel Gary Russell can give Oscar Valdez some problems, and I like to see it. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Oscar Valdez wants Gary Russell. He's calling him out. He wants that green belt. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you could love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.